Episode 5 of Survivors Winter at War. We have 3 new tribes today. That was probably the biggest game changer of the day, where immediately everybody got split into 3 new tribes. We had a new Sele tribe comprised of Michelle, Yule, Wendell, Parvati, and Nick. The vibe in this tribe was very much surrounding, first off, Michelle and Parvati being the outsiders, they're in the minority. And then on top of that, Michelle and Wendell used to date, which just created for a very awkward time in the new tribe. So I don't think that's going to go very well for Michelle and Parvati. I don't believe they have any powers between them either. So when their tribe does lose, they're not really in a position to make many plays, and I think they're going to have to do some major work in order to weasel their way in between Yule, Wendell, and Nick, because they are 3 people who were already working together and then move into a tribe together. So not looking good for them. In our red tribe, our new Dakal tribe, we have Sandra, Tony, Kim, Denise, and Jeremy. Uh, there were really, it kind of felt like Kim was kind of the swing vote here. She didn't really fit in with her old tribe. Seems like she gets along with Denise and Jeremy a little bit better than Sandra and Tony. Tony is very much on board with, hey, we need to keep her to get the votes, and it doesn't really seem like Sandra cares so far. And I very much got the vibe from Sandra that, yeah, she's immediately going to throw Tony under the bus first chance she gets. That kind of seems like how she's going to play this season. And and then our third tribe, our new tribe, Yara. This one was immediately fairly fractured. We had Rob, Ben, and Adam all came over from the same tribe, and they were all people who like manipulated and backstabbed each other. So very little bond going on there. And as soon as everybody gets to the new tribe, everyone frantically goes out, looks for the hidden immunity idol. Sophie snags it up. And it was just a kind of hilarious scene, mainly because everyone was like doing all this looking through trees, ripping off bark, looking under plants. And Rob was just kind of wandering around, throwing his arms up to the air, like, how do I look for an idol? Back in my day, we didn't have to go look for all these idols. We were given clues. So that was kind of entertaining. And yeah, so 3 new tribes, Sele, Dakal, and Yara are the new tribe names, 5 in each. And yeah, that was kind of a good portion of our episode. And then we hit our immunity challenge. It was just kind of a basic relay race with a puzzle at the end. It wasn't really that interesting, to be honest. In the end, Yara loses out, and then we go back to Yara tribe. That's the tribe with Rob, Ben, Adam, Sophie, and Sarah, and it was just like almost immediately pure awkwardness. So we have Rob, Ben, and Adam, who already were like at each other's necks, but they come together and they're like, yeah, we're gonna vote together, we're gonna work together, and our plan to make this go through is we're gonna go sit in camp, and no one leaves camp all day. It was just felt like a, given the circumstances and the situation, felt like a very bizarre strategy. Well, because first off, they're already have 3 people who don't trust each other, and they're all of a sudden working together. And then on top of it, they've restricted any sort of gameplay talk at council, and also just are ignoring the possibility that Sarah and Sophie could have either immunity idols or other powers in this game, because maybe they don't realize it, but there are a ton of powers floating around in the game right now. Like, I think there's like four immunity idols, a steal a vote, something else. Like, it's wild, and we haven't seen any of them played today. and we just have this huge, long, awkward afternoon where the people could have been strategizing, could have been doing things, and they just weren't. So we go to tribal council continues the awkwardness. Everybody kind of explains their side, and then we see the vote come down, and it's just Rob's out. Sarah and Sophie didn't even have to use any powers or anything. It was just, yep, Rob's done. And that was that. So we didn't really get to see any of Extinction Island today because there was so much going on with the new tribes. So next week we'll have Rob join, and it'll basically be Rob and Tyson joining Edge of Extinction at the same time in terms of us viewers. My only real comments on today's episode is I thought, given the circumstances, Rob's buddy system solidarity strategy was a little ridiculous. And I think it would have been better, like, if those three had actually been working together to come back and, like, display that they weren't working together or didn't want to work together. Just based on the fact that you don't know what Sarah and Sophie are bringing with them into the tribe. Because you don't know that, you cannot have them use one of those powers without you knowing. Because that would just be devastating for your game. Like, to have that whole thing and just lose anyways, just because you were stubborn, seems ridiculous. Like, why not use that opportunity to make them feel comfortable, make them feel safe, develop some relationships with them, like, even if you end up voting one of those people out. But that is not what we saw. We saw that ridiculous buddy system scene that was just everybody sitting there, and then every half an hour, could you pass me that shell? That's my Boston Rob or Ben voice, I guess. How's that rice doing? Whatever. We're done. Rob's out. Basically, our last legend is pretty much Sandra at this point. So she's probably a shoo-in to go home next week. Maybe we could swing it, Sandra and Tony, but I don't think that's possible since they're on the same tribe. But I will be back next week, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.